It's not just an ordinary Tuesday. Welcome to Terrier Tuesdays, the show where you can get to know some of Boston University's best and brightest student athletes.
Welcome to another edition of Terrier Tuesdays. I'm Meg Kelly. I'm thrilled to be joined today by women's soccer senior Ann Marie Jaworski. AJ, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Meg?
I'm doing great as well. A little bummed, though, that the fall season has been postponed for now. How have you been handling that news since it came down last week?
Yeah, so even watching last week's episode, the news, it's always the only word I can think of to describe it is heartbreaking. But I think a lot of my teammates, a lot of BU athletes, I think we knew the news that was coming. And I think what BU Athletics said, they did everything they could. They fought for us. They really advocated for us, and they know how important it is to have a season and how much of a role that plays for us, what we learn from a season. But right now, I think they made the best decision, and it's not over. I would like to think that we're going to be given the opportunity to show all the hard work we put in this spring. And hopefully we'll get to play in somewhat of a conference play come March, April. So learning what I've learned from a couple of injuries is when you're given negative news, find all the silver lining you can, that positivity. And if we possibly have a season this spring, that's something to train for, that's something to look forward to. And the fact that we're going to be allowed to go back on campus anyhow is just to see my teammates, just to see some of those girls. It's just makes everything. They're the best people. Awesome.
Definitely. And You mentioned those two injuries. For those that don't know, AJ had 2 ACL tears during her time at BU. Will be entering her 6th year this fall. How are those injuries, though? Have they been able to help you kind of put life into perspective, especially during this time? And you're one for overcoming adversity, so I'm sure you have some great skill sets to rely on.
Yeah, torn ACL, I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. I unfortunately have a lot of teammates that have gone through a similar thing. But what I learned mostly going through those injuries is the self-discipline, things like that. But most importantly is I think I became a better teammate. I was pretty shy coming into my freshman year. I'd still say I'm kind of shy, but learning how to let people in, the vulnerability that comes with sports that was probably my weakest part of the game at that point. And having these injuries really put me in a position where I had to be uncomfortable with asking for help and things like that. And and looking, like I said, the silver linings and everything. Even now, I'm coming back. I tore it in February 2019, so maybe my first game won't be till 2 years out, but you can never have enough time when coming back from an injury. So using maybe the additional 5 months that I have to my strength, fine-tuning and really being ready the second time around. I'm lucky I have a 5th and 6th year to lean on. I can't imagine not playing 4 years wearing the BU jersey. But so similar with the whole COVID and injuries is always find that silver lining, always find the positive. What can you control? And one of my biggest issues is trying to control what I can't. And us as a team, when we talked within our meetings, is things like that, is focus on what you can control. So, yeah.
For sure. And I'm excited for you to get that BU jersey back on. And
I know
it's a little bit hard to put into words, but what has it been like being a member of the women's soccer program?
Oh my gosh. Like I said, it's made me into a whole better person. You're meeting people that have the same like-minded goals, things like that, from the coaching staff to Nick in the athletic training room, to your teammates, to you, Meg. We all have a very similar mindset, and to be surrounded by people that have those same points of view and perspectives, it makes life so much more enjoyable. You're not constantly, there's no like added bickering and things like that. I mean, in the locker room, maybe, I don't know, just teasing each other, things like that. But being surrounded by people who I aspire to be like, things like that, it motivates me to be a better person every day. And to have the opportunity to be privileged enough to wear this jersey, things like that, wearing the red and the white, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I can't imagine going to another school. I can't imagine not having 2 more seasons. I think things happen the way they did for a reason, and I'm so fortunate to be surrounded by a group of girls and coaches and just the whole athletic department like BU has. So puts a smile on my face thinking of it. I could talk about it all day. I mean, so grateful.
That's incredible. I literally have chills right now from those words, and your heart beats for BU and your team. I think you inspire me. So thank you for that. And one thing that's unique to you is that your dad's a coach. You've grown up in a soccer family. What's it been like having his influence on you?
Oh my gosh, it's back. I'm going back to when I was 14 years old. He is arguably, one of the best coaches I've ever had. And even if he wasn't my dad, I would think that he has an eye for seeing things. And it's so advantageous when I'm coming back from this injury, things like that. He can pick up on things, and he's even helped, because I want to be a coach. So when I may be looking at things one way, formations, things like that, he gives me a different perspective, and because we think differently. But having him, and he's always inspired. He's like, hey, let's go for a run. Hey, let's go for a bike ride. Things like, he's been my training buddy this whole summer. And yeah, he's how 56, 57. I should know that, but he's been like, we've been the two duo. Like, I don't want to say Batman or Robin. He'd for sure be Batman, but he's just been my biggest supporter throughout this summer. And he, at times, like, he's motivated me when running is hard. And I mean, when it's 90% humidity, I don't really want to run outside, but he gets me going. And I can't imagine having another dad like him. I mean, yeah, it's been great to be home with him. And then even my brothers and my mom, we've all kind of just been making the most of the circumstances we're in, things like that. So, yeah.
That's awesome. An incredible family to rely on and to be together, especially during
the family. He still gets on me if I don't have a good first touch. So,
what are your plans after college? Are you thinking of maybe getting into coaching? I know you're a psychology major. You still got a lot of time to think about things, but are there any things that are kind of in your mind right now?
Yeah. So, with Patriot League, like having a 5th and 6th, you have an academic reason. So I'll be doing my master's just to knock that out of the way, because with college coaching, a master's, it gets you pretty far. After college, we'll see how long my knees hold up. I mean, the dream would be to go abroad, play at a professional level. If that's not the case, then absolutely go into coaching at the collegiate level. Division-wise, I think maybe Division III, Division I, probably start at Division III. But, I mean, having soccer be a part of my life as long as it has been, even with my dad being a coach, going on those bus rides and things like that with his team, seeing his team train when I was 10 years old and being lucky enough to play in a 4v2 little matchup, I mean, I'm not willing to give it up. I mean, I want it to be a part of my life for as long as it can be. I want to be playing for as long as I can be. So definitely what I want to do when I'm older is seeing the other side of the game, being on the coaching side, things like that. And I still have a lot to learn. Long way to go in that department, but yeah, that's my goal after college.
Well, I'm sure you'll get there. Maybe one day I'll be your SID when you're a head coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that.
But until then, thank you so much for your time today, and thanks for being you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Meg. It means a lot.
Thanks for tuning in to Terrier Tuesdays. Give us a follow on our social media accounts at BU Athletics on Twitter and Instagram for more content.